There we are. Good evening, finally. We always somehow are a few minutes later, although for good reasons.
But usually not more than 5 minutes.
True, not more than 5 minutes.
There was an emergency today.
There was...
With the car beeping.
True, actually, oh yeah, that's true actually. The car just started beeping out of nowhere suddenly. So we had to run down and sort it out.
Sort that out.
Very true, very true. Good evening, everybody.
Apologies, guys.
We hope everybody's doing well.
And shout out if you're from Instagram, actually.
Right, yes, we just actually finished a quick live on Instagram to let everybody know that we're going live here now.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Esther, Aviola,
Natalie.
Fatimata.
Amazing. From Cape Town.
I love that name, actually.
Fatimata, yeah.
The only Fatimata I know is Fatimata Ba. So if you know her, shout out to Fatimata Ba.
You know more than I do.
I actually really love that name. Adanna, Michaela, Kutsitari. Is that Shem?
Diana.
Yes. Hello.
Awesome. New Jersey in the house as well. Awesome. And of course, Germany again in the house from Leipzig. Hello, Daniela.
Cici and Kube from Cape Town. Ooh, I just can't wait for all of these travel bans to be over. Cape Town is on my list.
Oh, yes.
You already know Zanzibar is on our list.
Exactly.
At this point.
Awesome. Perfect. So I would say let's get started. Since we're already a few minutes late, let's get started straight with our usual tradition. Let's pour our glass of wine.
Glass of vino.
Glass of vino. And again, you want to put it there? Yeah, let me pour it here and then we hope you guys have your drinks ready for another exciting video.
Merci.
Probably we should first talk about what happened last week.
Yeah, just proceed with the wine.
You should probably already start.
Let's finish.
Right, because
make a toast and then
some of you might have been a little bit disappointed that we didn't show our faces last week.
But if you follow us on Instagram, you would know.
True.
Okay, first of all,
cheers.
Prost.
Prost.
Oh.
Oh.
You're supposed to look at me, David. Well, I was the one looking.
Close, yes.
But anyway, apologies for I cannot believe that is literally the first to navigate life that we missed.
Yeah.
So that actually really hits close to home in our hearts because we've never missed any to that. No matter how tiring the day was, we're like, no, we are committing, we are sticking through it. But last week was like literally no chance. I was so sick. I had bad tonsillitis, bad period pain. Sorry for the TMI. Noah was ill as well.
It was a bit much last week. Absolutely.
It was a lot. It was a lot.
But we're feeling better. Everybody's feeling better.
Yes.
Noah's feeling better. Adanna's feeling better. So we're back to normal. Hence, we're here today. So, with that in mind, obviously, before we get into today's topic, if you guys are not already subscribed, make sure to subscribe to our channel, of course, to always get notifications, and also make sure to turn on the notification bell, by the way, as well.
Definitely. Can I just say shout out to Amy Williams? Amy is at Walmart in Mishawaka, Indiana.
Wow.
And she's on her last break and just wanted to say hello. We love you, Amy. Thank you for spending your break with us. I hope it was worth it. Thank you.
Brilliant. Azerbaijan as well. That's amazing.
Ruth. Wow.
Very great. Awesome. It's always good to see all of you from so many cool places around the world. Brazil, Uganda. Amazing.
Korea from Brazil.
Amazing. Awesome.
Amazing. Okay, so let's get into today's topic. So today's topic is
we're going to be talking about kind of work-life balance in times of lockdown, work from home / COVID, and kind of what our experience has been a little bit. That might inspire you, help the one or the other maybe as well. But basically, I want to talk a little bit about that because at the end of the day, that is something that everybody around the world, whether you're single, in a relationship, whether you're married, whether you have children, everybody has been facing this for the last few months. Significant changes, when it comes to working, when it comes to studying, whatever you do in life, it had to all be done from home, right? So that's kind of what we want to address today and share a little bit, what we have gone through in the last few months and maybe what we've learned from it, what challenges still remain, because I mean, it's not easy, regardless of what you do and how great you work together. So yeah, that's really a little bit what we're going to address today. And as always, we're obviously super keen to also hear your experiences. So again, please use the chat freely to share your experiences, how it has been for you during lockdown, how you managed sort of work and life, or school and life at the same time. And also lastly, of course, leave any questions, and we're going to try in between and at the end to get to the questions as well. So
okay, so let us start from the beginning. I know I reference a lot if you're following us on Instagram, because literally that's the first place we either share things on the feed or mostly on the stories. We're on the stories every single day. So our Insta fam, leave a comment if you're our Insta fam. Our Insta fam already know that when the lockdown started, I think about like a few weeks or months into the lockdown, I had written a few articles about like couples that are coupled up, basically. Are you gonna get divorced or are you gonna get pregnant? I know that it was like the extreme. Well, clearly we didn't get divorced and we didn't get pregnant, so there is the middle ground. And we were able to kind of navigate, no pun intended, to navigate. We were able to navigate that situation because of like our communication, basically, right?
Sure.
Initially when it started, it was just all over the shop. We were literally all over the shop because I was expected, I had to work as an entrepreneur. I had to work. You guys know also with Medics Abroad, it was the time where we had planned the trip that we were gonna have in the summer, and all of a sudden there's like a travel ban. So there was just so much going on in, my company as well. David had to work. With both of us having to work, and then all of a sudden our kids no longer go to school, and like they're super hyperactive. It was so discombobulating. Yeah. Literally, we were just all over the shop. So it was one of the, I think in the first week or two where we were still like getting the hang of, oh my God, you're at home all the time. This is so cute. It's so cool. We have the kids. Oh my God, it's so cool. It felt like an extended holiday, like an extended weekend. But then the reality kicked in, I think, like a few weeks into the whole situationship. Yeah. And then we were like, okay, what's happening here? Because sometimes like we're all downstairs with the kids, and David's like, oh, I really need to jump into this client meeting. I really need to send this email. And I'm like, oh, I really need to like fix this and organize this. So we were always winging it. Like, can you jump in each real quick? We
took each day kind of as it came. But
so we winged it for like a few weeks, and then we were like, honey, what did we talk about communication? Let's sit down and have a chat, because this is not working. So we did have a chat about that, about scheduling. So I think, and we were down to the T with scheduling, because obviously the kids were involved. Yeah. And I mean, fun fact, we don't watch a lot of TV at home, generally, just both of us, and let alone the kids. There's not a lot of TV going on. So we're like, this is the time to actually schedule what we're going to be doing with the kids during the day. Who's going to go out with them, what parent is going to work. And so we came up with the AM, PM routine.
Yeah, exactly.
And okay,
absolutely.
Do you know what? I could keep going. Maybe
well,
jump in.
I think also if it kind of made sense. I think it makes complete sense looking back at it now, because none of us knew what was really going on for how long. So why, of course, I think a lot of people, to be honest, just winged it in the beginning. Was, look, nobody knew how long this was going to last. Most companies or schools, universities or employers weren't really prepared. There was no official kind of flexible working hours, or what is our company policy now since you have kids at home, so everybody was confused and kind of winged it in the first few weeks, right? So I think it's understandable. And after a couple of weeks, as I said, even companies, universities copped on, the schools, obviously. I saw somebody was already saying that they had to teach online, I think, so of course that took some time for everybody to get used to it. So looking back at it, I think it was a normal, very confusing start. We fortunately managed to get around, quite quickly. And then, as you said, had a very clear structure in place, which helped us from that perspective. Of course, it also required, but as I said, like, in your case, it was a bit easier. Of course, you're running your own show, but in my case, at least, it needed a very, very good and understanding employer as well, where you can just easily for an indefinite, period of time to work half time now.
Yeah, I wouldn't actually, subjectively anyway, I wouldn't really say it was easy because I was running my own show, because I think I was burdened with the uncertainties of like,
from
financial consequences.
No, but from a scheduling perspective only, I mean.
All right.
No, of course, you had a lot of work to do, but at least you can decide whether you're now going to work, let's say, or take off a bit in the morning
PM,
and then work at night. That's what I meant. But of course, workload and uncertainty-wise was more difficult.
Well, exactly.
True.
So, So we managed to come up with like a schedule that worked.
Yeah.
For the longest time, until the kids went back to school. Obviously, there's a lot in between. Like there were the
little things,
I'm being dramatic when I say the breakdowns and the meltdowns, but like I wouldn't say it was completely easy on me. Although I felt like it was completely easy on you, David.
A lot of things are quite easy on me.
I was like, David, hold on a second. Why are you not stressed?
No.
Why are you not having a meltdown or a breakdown? Like, why are you okay?
No. It is especially in times of crisis, right? When you have to keep that positive mindset. It's the only way you're going to get through it.
Babe, positive mindset is one thing. Of course, I always have a positive mindset. Well, most of the time, I have a positive mindset. But I just felt really overwhelmed. I felt really overwhelmed
course, yes.
to the extent, like, especially with... I mean, we love being parents. But I would say that I didn't really realize how much we really depended on the school system, or how much luxury we had when these kids would go to school and you would get that bit of a breather.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, these super hyper active kids are home. I mean, it was, I felt stressed at some point.
No, of course it was, stressful for sure. It wasn't easy, but yeah, I think at the end of the day, I try to always look at the positive side of things. Of course, the activities you can do with the kids and all these other elements, of course, being, as I said earlier, like being relieved with an understanding employer, at least, so that pressure that I'm sure not everybody had the luxury of having at the time. At least I had that comfort of knowing, like, look, at least there's an understanding on that front. There's not added pressure on this, it's quite clear. So that was very helpful. But I think also another big piece that after the first the confusion, then okay, let's find a schedule, let's work this out, and let's get to a routine. That's obviously very much on the, let's say, professional front, whether again at school or university or work, right? I think the third phase that potentially a lot of people are still in is more than on the personal front, right? Because after the additional few weeks or months, then of course suddenly we're like, okay, nobody is really used of spending 24/7 together. I mean, no family, no couple, no single is used to being in that whatever room, house, wherever they live, the whole time.
Yes.
Right? Like almost at all.
Yeah, because, it was one thing for you to have gone to work. I mean, your working situation is like this sort of open floor plan, right?
Yeah.
But nonetheless, at the end of a working day, you change environment.
Exactly.
You come back home to your family.
Yeah.
But literally, this is a situation where, we're lucky we have an office space, but like you're here working in the office space and then you come down to the same situation.
Yeah. Exactly. No, and people like it's so hard to obviously to appreciate that when you have something, as it is with many things. Where, you only realize it until when it's gone. But understanding that this kind of mental space, let's say, right between work or family work and family and home is so important, right? And I think that's kind of the phase that some people are still in, or that was kind of the third phase, let's say. Understanding, okay, yes, I found a routine, that's one thing, but over a long period of time, for months of working from home, it actually can drain you a little bit. It can kind of pull you down, and it then has become quite difficult for people. The morale, was affected in something. I had colleagues as well. Motivation, morale, productivity. Eventually, kind of went down the hill a little bit.
I mean, for me,
that's the kind of the third phase then.
For me, I didn't experience that because obviously, like I'm an entrepreneur I'm used to working from home. So for me, what changed drastically wasn't working from home.
Yeah.
It was the fact that, well, I'm now at home working with toddlers that no longer go to creche. So obviously my burden was more of the life balance rather than the work balance.
And actually, there's a really good question as well from a Sweet Tea Darling. She's saying, no, seriously, how did you all have downtime running businesses and having kids all the time?
Well, honestly,
to your point.
Yeah, to the point we were talking about, we had to have an AM PM shift. It literally was the thing we called it. And we did it week in, week out. So the first week, I would have all the AM shifts of maybe working in the office, where everything that had to do with the kids in the morning, their breakfast, their activity, their going to the park, or, you know, the nap time, lunch, the other parent had to do. So basically David had to do it, and then we would swap when he puts them down for their afternoon nap, and then it becomes like he then takes the PM shift of working in the office. So that's really how we did it, which means in essence we went from working full days to working half days, and being with the kids, you know,
Although days. I think the two things in addition to that, of course, officially you can say, okay, instead of full day we worked half days. Although of course we then put extra work in the nights, which Adanna, by the way, did anyway.
Yeah,
but you know, for many people, including myself, sometimes, I mean, at some point in the evening you do want to take your time off and whatnot. You know, as an entrepreneur, that's not always possible. But in this period, especially, you know, literally there were no early nights. There was no day that ended before midnight, for example, for months now.
Well, that's normal for me anyway.
For you. But also another thing I was going to say is, it's one thing, of course, to have the schedule, but to your question, how to manage a lot of these things. One thing that actually I had learned in some of the seminars at work or trainings around management, one of the most important management skills actually to drive anything, is what they call ruthlessly prioritizing.
Oh, yeah.
Like ruthlessly prioritizing, right? People don't have an understanding of what it actually means to prioritize. You still have 10 things that you consider priority, which is impossible. You know, no successful leader has 10 things that are priority. Then it's not a priority. That's your general to-do list, right? Yeah. So I think what it took then as well is to accept, okay, this is just a different time. Not everything I had planned. I mean, nobody's plans for 2020 came to fruition. Let's be honest. Right? No, whatever you had planned for 2020, nobody was able to probably achieve it to the fullest. It's just unfortunate this pandemic happened. So it required a bit of mental acceptance of like, okay, look, this is what it is now. I maybe not get everywhere, you know, not get everything done I wanted to, but let me try my best. And that's then the second step is, okay, let me then prioritize out of the however many things I wanted to achieve this year. What are the two things I still want to absolutely nail and achieve? So those were the two things, I think. This mental acceptance. It's okay that you're not going to get everything done.
Yeah.
But then also think, okay, what are the things now I really want to get done?
Yeah.
Prioritizing.
Exactly.
That I think also was what helped us, I think, still run businesses, succeed in the job, and raise kids.
Have time for,
and have time for us, for our family, and run our household.
Yeah, and we became intentional about date nights actually.
Oh, yes.
We used to do it once a week on a Wednesday, and then we moved it to we increased it to Wednesday and Sundays. And basically what that meant, like David said, our schedule of working half days because we had to be with the kids the other half day meant that the moment we put them in bed, we're back at the office working.
Yep.
But then, so that meant that we were working all the time or being with the kids all the time. Yeah. So at some point we had to be intentional about, okay, you know what, every Wednesday, we started off once a week before twice a week, right? But this once a week, this Wednesday is the day that when we put the kids to bed, we are not going to the office, we're not working, we're both gonna sit down and watch something, eat popcorn, drink wine, talk, have a chat, or do anything that you know focuses on both of us. Yeah. And at some point, we later increased that. Yeah. Even though, obviously, this is video for another day. Please comment below if any couples spend an hour deciding what to watch on Netflix.
Oh god, that is definitely material for another video.
This is
Us trying
material.
to watch Netflix together is not really. It's hardly, not never, but like hardly working out.
Certainly, like we spent so long. Do you know what? And like we're trying to like please each other.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm gonna compromise if you want to watch this, and it's like, oh no, I want you to absolutely love it. And then we're just going back and forth. I'm just like, we should pick this well in advance.
Yeah.
But anyway, the moral of the story is we dedicated 1 to 2 days where we were, intentional about spending time with each other.
True. I'll be very keen, by the way, if you guys have any particular advice or things that have worked for you, whether, again, as I said, you're a student, you're single, you're working, you're in a relationship, married with kids, anything that you guys can share maybe with the rest as well that are watching, of strategies, approaches, activities, or whatever it is that you guys found very, very useful in the last few months for you. Again, please let us know. Share. Exactly. And we'll make sure to give you guys a shout out as well and maybe address it as well. So super keen to hear from you.
Anyway, I feel like at the moment now might be too late to dish any advice of productivity at home.
Who knows?
But in the beginning of lockdown, I wrote this article of the things that even helped me transition to full-time entrepreneurship and, managing my time because when I was working in the hospital, like I had my set schedule. I knew when I needed to be in theater. I knew when I needed to be on the ward. Like it was pre-scheduled. So you really just went in there and it became like automatic, except when you got paged and emergency, all that stuff. But basically having full control of my own schedule as an entrepreneur is like, in the beginning, I really struggled with discipline. Sitting down because especially working from home in the very beginning. So I'm talking like maybe 2 years ago where you're at home and you realize, oh my God, while I'm at home, I'm just gonna quickly, load that laundry machine and like load the dishwasher. Do you remember when you used to come back from work and I'm like, babe, I've had such an unproductive day. I spend the entire day doing housework.
It's easy for you to then look for things to do, anything that you can just do to prevent having to work.
Let me just grab that cup of tea. Let me just do this. Let me just do that. But anyway, so I realized over time that what really helped me was, so I was like, right, I am tidying up this office space and I'm going to use the office space. So initially I used to I'm just like making my lunch. So I'm just going to work on the kitchen table or I'm going to, just lay in bed and like quickly send these emails in the morning. Clearly that wasn't working. So I had to put on my A game, like dress up. And I don't mean like deck up like you're going to some corporate meeting, but basically anything that's not loose clothing or your pajamas, like even if it's just the top, like a t-shirt and a pair of jeans. So dressing up properly in the morning really helped me. The other thing that helped me was wearing shoes. I know it sounds weird, but if I actually wore my shoes and came to the office, I had this like mindset shift that I mean business rather than socks or just like my flip-flops or like house shoes. Wearing my shoes really helped me. What else? Having a proper office space in a well-lit room. So if you don't have like a dedicated office room and you're going to convert a part of your house, make sure it's somewhere that's well lit so that you don't feel like drowsy or you don't go in and out. So these were like just a few of the mini micro things that kind of helped me get in the mindset of working from home. Anyway, but that wasn't our issue because I had mastered it before, the lockdown.
True, you knew that,
Yeah, David has this sort of...
What? Please explain, what is this?
Laser focus. David has this laser focus. If he tells himself, like, I'm sitting here and I'm doing this, there is nothing that's gonna distract him from that. And I admire that. I think it's
I wouldn't say nothing, but yeah,
well, except me.
Oh, yes, that's true. But, no, you see it now. You
confused me. Because I just said except me. Get your mind out of the goddamn David and talk.
No, I think what also, so for me, of course, it was new to me, kind of this fully working from home. Obviously, I used to work in an office space and always had this sort of commute to work and a different environment. There's, as I said earlier, this mental distance also between your house and of course work. So it was new for me. But what I think I realized over time is very important till today is knowing really where and how you're productive. Like, what are the things that matter? I mean, it can be small things sometimes. For example, things like standing up, right? So I was able to purchase a standing desk. So one of the investments, let's say, I made for this, because I knew eventually that was really important for me, was to get a standing desk, right? Small things like this sometimes can make a difference. Regular breaks as well. I mean, if you think about it again, most people would spend maybe half an hour to an hour in a commute, maybe in the bus or in the car somewhere. That's already a little bit like you're not in your house, you're not at work yet. It gives you that time to kind of be on your own and think. Maybe do that in the morning, go for a walk before you start your work. After breakfast, just go for a walk somewhere or go for a run or whatever you like to do. But create that kind of distance and space, right, for yourself and give yourself the time. Other things are, of course, as Adanna said, like some people need to have a very clean environment and they work much, much better. Personally, for example, that doesn't make a big difference to me, right? Like, whether the room I'm working in, of course, if it's complete mess, maybe yes. But if the desk is a bit messy or the room, like that wouldn't affect me.
Yeah, that affects me.
Exactly. I'm able to quite focus on the task at hand. But some people, some people it is very important. And the other things, as I said, for me, for example, another thing that mattered or is very important for me to help me is to have that very clear idea of what needs to be achieved on that day, each day.
Yeah.
So talk about these priorities, right? I need that. If I don't have that kind of list in the morning, then I'll find myself 3 p.m. and I've just kind of been going through emails and like, kind of do the things that are easy or that are, but not really, I'm not as kind of clear on what I need to achieve. Yeah. So but I think knowing how you work best and how you're productive is so important.
Anyway, so phase 1 was trying to just wing it because we really didn't have any structure. Phase 2 was establishing this routine that worked. Now we are in phase 3. And I'd like to share with you how that's going. So phase 3 was when, some of the lockdown was lifted and the kids went back to school. Yeah. Now, bear in mind, we'd gone months with this AM, PM routine where, for us as individuals, that you're working AM, you're with the kids PM, or you're with the kids AM, you're working PM. So we had that schedule. All of a sudden, the kids went back to school. David and I were useless. Do you remember that? David is very, very productive in the morning, but then it gets to the afternoon when he was supposed to be with the kids and there are no kids because they're in school. He's like, why is it so quiet in the house?
What can I do now?
I'm going to garden. Like, if you watch our YouTube, the other YouTube videos, like the vlog, you see how much gardening David did when the lockdown was lifted. Like, he planted...
Well, partially lifted there. At least the creche opened,
the creche is open, David planted all the grasses. He did this, he did that. He mowed the lawn. He cleaned all the windows. He's like, why is the house so quiet?
I fixed all the things I always wanted to fix in the house.
Oh my goodness. But anyway, we're over that. We're now used to like, okay, we're going back to like working full days.
Yeah.
But this is phase 3B, where the kids are no longer here.
Yeah.
We're now going back to both working full days and like we're in each other's space.
Yeah, tell them
all the time.
Now,
hold on.
Tell everybody.
And it's not
how you
even.
feel about it.
Listen, David, Linda, lick it. Linda.
Lick it.
Wait, let me tell you, yeah?
Yeah.
So, obviously, like, I love your company.
You know where this is going when she says that. Obviously, I love your company, right?
And you love my company. We love each other's company. The only difference here is, right? So, David is used to, like, a working space that involves, like, this open plan. Like, you have in these, like, tech companies. That's the thing. All these WeWork spaces or your typical tech companies where there's, like, 50 of you on the same floor and everyone has this, like, noise cancelling headphones.
I don't know what that is.
I'm sorry, I do not believe in noise cancelling. That's story for another day. And you have all these noise cancelling headphones and like there's 50 people making and receiving calls from 50 different countries and all of you are just there and it's great.
Exactly.
Right?
It's great.
That is not a situation that I'm used to. And it's not even during the lockdown, it wasn't even a problem because we weren't even together in the office. Like one parent was here, one parent was with the kids.
Yeah, correct.
Now we're working together in the same space, AM and PM. And David's having all these work calls when I'm trying to think. Or when I'm trying to like read my book. I'm like, what is this call, David? Seriously. Anyway, that's the situation where I'm like, and I politely last week suggested to David, do you mind converting, the kids' toy room that they don't even use into like a separate office where you can have your calls from AM to PM.
We have this huge office here, okay, a very big office with 2 desks in it, okay. And I was kindly asked to please go somewhere else in the house.
No, I didn't say go. I said, babe, would you consider?
You know when your wife says, would you consider? It's one of those rhetorical, like...
No, it literally was like, would you consider, like...
And if I had said
taking your call somewhere else? Well, you've not... The fact is that you've still not left, so clearly you didn't consider my suggestion.
I didn't consider that suggestion. I don't see the point of being alone in some sort of toy room with, like, God knows what around me. No, but... What I am doing, to be fair, I obviously listened as a good husband and took that on board. So what I'm doing right now is, if Adanna is around in the office, obviously, and I have a work call, I ask her if she has any conflicting calls, number one, because she obviously gets preference, right, for work calls.
No, I don't have to get preference.
No, but you do, and you do. And then also, of course, depending a little bit on the call, especially if it's clients, for example, I try, and Adanna's around, I try to then go to another room, just temporarily.
But even vice versa as well, because sometimes I have calls and you've already started your call and it's not finishing and I have to leave. Sure. But anyway, the first thing David did was to buy me noise cancelling headphones.
Because they do work. They actually work. I bought her like the best that are there,
I'll show it on my story. Yeah. My headphones.
Funny thing is, for the longest time, they have not been opened yet, so you know how that is going.
Anyway, this is our phase 3 where we're both together all the time, working AM to PM, and then we leave the office and we're continuing our, life balance outside of the office, still together. And it's going well.
No, it is going. Come on, of course.
I'm just kidding. It is going well anyway.
Look, there's so many great conversations that we would have never had. Like random, of course. It's not like, scheduled, but random conversation maybe over lunch or, just getting a coffee, or sometimes we have a quick break in the garden. We just get some fresh air, for example. Or because obviously we have lunch together now every day, right? So sometimes, of course, a takeout. Sometimes one of us cooks. So all these things, of course, are opportunities also to spend time, like proper time together, because sitting in an office next to each other isn't really spending time
together. Yeah.
It's being in the same space, maybe. No. So it is, of course, great. I think most of these little things we just wanted to share with you. Of course, we kind of laugh about it in a way, right?
But it's also important. We don't even do every single thing together. So David still, like, you'd have your run in the morning, or I would do what I have to do separately. So we're it's not like we don't even see each other 24 hours of the day.
No, of course not.
We're still managing to give each other space.
Because we also understand, as a last point maybe, and then we definitely do want to get to some of your questions, guys, so get ready. Because at the end of the day, with everything, and COVID and the whole lockdown has just obviously exaggerated that a little bit, or emphasized even more, is that even without a global pandemic, it is important to realize and understand that obviously there's an element in every relationship, right, where distance is equally as important as being close to each other, right? Equally as important. That's very, very important. Everybody still, you need to have the distance. And it's not about distance when people hear this, I need to distance myself. It's obviously usually seen or perceived as a kind of negative thing, like, you don't like me anymore or something, but it should be seen that way. Like,
but it's not even emotional distancing.
No, absolutely.
It's literally physical distancing. It's just like,
absolutely.
No, I don't. I really don't need to be staring at your face for 24 hours. Neither do you, mine.
Exactly. So if you already have that understanding, for yourself as an individual, or maybe in a relationship prior to the lockdown, I think anybody who had that understanding and realized that before also benefited from that tremendously in the last few months during the lockdown, knowing that it is super important, even in a situation of a lockdown, somehow to create an environment where you are able to, also be a part as much as you could have, of course, in a lockdown. But yeah.
And in this period as well, I have gone away.
Yeah.
How
Absolutely.
many times? Once? Yeah, once.
Yeah, once.
Yeah. I had a weekend away with one of my girlfriends, and it was good. It was
important,
good.
yeah.
It was important, actually. Yeah.
Awesome. So look, guys, as we said at the beginning, we just wanted to share this a little bit with you, what we've gone through, some of the things that have worked for us. But we definitely also do want to get to some of the questions, I guess, or stories you guys want to share, as always. So if there's anything that is on your mind that you wanted to share with us, ask us, any challenges you've gone through, anything that you're grappling with at the moment, maybe, and then do let us know in the chat below, and we'll have a look through right now.
I have to. Zainab
wow.
Abdul Majid said, "How is the barrier between your office desks working out?"
Now,
Zainab, shout out, because you're an
True
Insta
fact. True one.
Insta fam. You would have definitely seen my Insta story where I had complained about the fact that David was always on a work call. Because bear in mind, like, all of David's clients are in sub-Saharan Africa. And before the lockdown, you guys know he would always be in, Nigeria, Kenya, South Africa. But now he's not traveling, and I'm having to listen to all these client calls. So David felt like the best thing was to put like a mirror.
Yeah, like Tina
Like
said,
a barrier between us. And I was like, David, how does this help? Like, I can hear you. The problem is not me seeing you having these calls. The problem is me hearing you having these calls. Yeah, needless to say that did not work out. So that did not work out. The barrier is gone.
Yeah. That was we have this really, really large mirror in the office, so
Jackie said, "Where's the wine?"
Sorry. You see? Here's the wine. But anyway, so that barrier didn't work out, and told Adanna at the end of the day, well, you just maybe might have to just get used to it, and that's when I bought her the noise cancelling headphones.
That's when he bought me the state of the art noise cancelling headphones.
The latest.
Like I think he literally said it in the box.
No, and they literally just come out about 2 weeks prior to me purchasing them.
Really?
So, yeah, and let's just say they're.
David is still salty.
They have not been
that
opened.
Is still in the box. I'm gonna open it tomorrow.
When?
I promise.
Tomorrow, please, guys, please be watching out.
Follow us on Instagram.
Exactly. Watch out on our Adanna David stories tomorrow and see if Adanna actually opens them tomorrow, because she's been telling me for the last 2 weeks every day.
I will open those headphones, David, tomorrow.
Let's see. All right. So what else we got?
Okay, so I'm Chitston, I think. So I'm working from home with 4.5-year-old and 2-year-old, literally almost like Kian and Noah. Yeah. My husband's work, he's a technician and has a company vehicle. It's hard to keep kids occupied so I can stay focused.
Yep.
Oh, it's so hard. Like, I remember before the lockdown, I was literally so worried about what to do with the kids. And I remember going to IKEA. I bought so much arts and crafts. And I found that really helped me. Like, activities that would really engage them for a few hours at once. Even though, like, if we got to an hour, we were lucky.
Yeah.
Because our kids just would not sit down and engage in any activity for an hour. Like, literally doesn't happen.
Absolutely. And another thing I think that that I think was very, very good for us is that it helps, of course, our kids love being outside. But generally, of course, I think occupying them with, if you have parks close by or something outdoor, or just letting them play in the garden, that was definitely a lifesaver. Sometimes we could literally just go for 2 hours, 3 hours almost, spend time, either a mixture of being in the garden. We have a park, of course, that was very close by, so it was all within the allowed distance you were allowed to leave the house. But yeah, that was an absolute lifesaver, you know, being outside every morning. Usually when I had the mornings, for example, after breakfast, first thing, you know, first thing after breakfast, out, regardless of the weather, by the way. You know, you have to kind of, kids don't care so much. It's the parents who are all about like, oh, it's raining, it's cold. If you dress kids up properly, kids actually love bad weather. Kids love the rain.
Jumping in muddy puddles.
Jesus.
Seriously.
They love a bit of wind, you know, it's kind of cool. And then, so anyway, so they actually love this. So this was a big lifesaver as well in terms of killing time in a way, yeah.
Just want to say shout out to a few more people. Rosie P joining from London. Wow. Holly James said, I finally made it and you're about to finish. Great news, Holly, is that even though we finish, you can still have a replay because the video is going to be on our channel.
And we'll give you a few more minutes, don't worry.
No, we're not leaving like right now. What time is it?
Oh. Can I just please say, seriously, Felice, what kind of shades are you throwing at me? Please.
Oh my God, Felice!
Again, another Insta fam here, clearly. So Felice is saying...
Kabambwe said, does David still use all the ring lights for his video calls?
I cannot believe you have to put me on the spot like this. Because again, anybody who's been following the Insta stories, know, and it's true, okay?
This morning, I dropped the kids at school. I got back. Alas, all the ring lights were on.
It's one. It's not all.
It's one ring light and the square one behind us.
There's a light on the desk.
It's two lights.
Yeah.
I'm like, David, are you actually serious? You're turning on ring lights to have client calls. He's like, oh, the lighting, the this, the that. I'm like, no comment.
Wow, everybody's not commenting on the ring lights. Jenny, Jesus Christ, guys, I didn't know that was such a big topic. But let me tell you, depending, of course, on what you do in your job. Again, I have external clients, you know, where you talk to C-level or senior, you know, stakeholders and management.
And you have to look cute.
It's not about cute, but having a good quality call is important, right? I mean, if you have these serious calls and you're someone like a bit dark, you know, you can't really see the person on the other side. It's not really a nice thing.
I think everybody understands that you're working from home, and literally, except you're a digital content creator, absolutely nobody goes around purchasing ring lights for the purpose of having quality calls.
Honey, you'll be surprised. There are even now products out there specifically designed lights for the laptop cameras. You'd be absolutely surprised. It's a subconscious thing, but the quality of a video call will also be able to help you elevate a message, or if you're pitching something as a salesperson, then if it's a bit broken, dark, can't really see the other person. It helps in terms of the seriousness. Quality of the call is important. So anyway, guys.
Oh no, ma'am.
Exactly.
I'm not.
The light is still there, guys, and the light will still stay there.
Yeah, they're not going anywhere. They're not.
Anyway.
Priscilla said no wine tonight. Like, why is everybody missing the wine?
I finished my glass already. All right.
I have a bit of mine.
I mean, it's yours, but if you want to give me some.
Okay, you can have some. Oh my God, David, do you remember the beginning of our relationship?
Wow.
When literally...
Are you sure we want to get into this now?
Oh my God, no, sorry. This wine I just gave you triggered something. That I would give you something and you'd like finish it.
Really?
Like I would offer you like a biscuit and then maybe I'll just go somewhere and I'll come back and you finished it.
Well...
Literally. And he's like, but you offered it to me. I'm like, but I did not mean you should finish it.
Anyway. That.
anyway.
I think that's a rumor.
Should we just have a few more questions or comments and then we go?
What do you got?
So someone...
Zainab, I agree with David. Please look bang on your video calls. Thank you, Zainab.
So Matt says, is Noah's thumb sucking under control? Absolutely not. It is not under control. Oh. We had a YouTube video where we filmed it anyway. We had purchased these thumb guards. Guys, I kid you not, in less than 2 minutes, he had ripped it out.
Yeah, and that was a proper with a lock type of thing or whatever, but he still managed to get it off.
Listen, I don't even want to pull the Nigerian method of stopping thumb sucking because we all know that atarodo is going on your fingers. That spice is going. When you suck that spice and your brain explodes, nobody's going to tell you to stop sucking. But I just feel like I don't even have the mind to do that, to put like hot chili on my 2-year-old's finger.
Maybe,
I don't
maybe
think I
soon
can
we have to
do
start
that.
with something like cinnamon or
No,
something.
but no, actually, the alternative is aloe vera.
Right. I like that.
Aloe vera, where you just like, it
like
gets
that.
really bitter.
Yeah.
But I feel like Noah, he's too creative that he'll be like...
yeah, absolutely. I don't know. You would find the other one, or you find this.
Or
I
he
don't
would,
know,
do you know, actually, let's predict our child.
You know what? He will go get a tissue.
And
he will go to the bathroom.
Wash his thumb up. Oh my
and
god,
go
I
back.
was gonna say.
No, I'm serious. Like Noah is such. It's like he's 2, but acts like a 20-year-old or something. Like it's crazy.
Will literally walk to the bathroom, get a chair, climb, wash out that aloe vera, and continue sucking his thumb.
No, the stuff.
Period.
Even the I mean, you guys might might have seen it in some of the vlogs, of course, on our weekend vlogs. But like, even the responses he already gives for the little, of course, actually it's quite a lot he could speak. But you know, but the understanding behind it, he doesn't always have the words, but like the understanding, like he knows exactly already how to play you. What the things you care about as a parent, like it's absolutely insane and impressive sometimes. The depth of understanding, So he could easily walk to the bathroom, look at you like, really? That's how you're gonna try me? Like,
that's all you've got.
Turn on the water, wash it off, dry the thumb up, and go back to like it's incredible.
So any recommendations? Any like acceptable recommendation? Not like extreme. Please, they're welcome.
No. One more question, maybe, guys.
Shout out to Sylvia Mora, by the way. Hi, Sylvia. Thank you so much for always joining us on our lives. Thank you so much. We appreciate you, Sylvia. Thank you. Should we just take one more and then go? Yeah. I know, because even though we're talking about kids, I mean, I suppose it's part of the work-life balance. Because that's like, we just went on a tangent there talking about Noah, but I was like, maybe that's part of like work-life balance.
Yeah.
Okay, so Comfort M said, any thoughts on activities to keep my boys from jumping off the sofa, especially during work calls? So, okay, do you know what? There is also the reality of this situation where we've never experienced a pandemic, right? Nothing is as it used to be. Nothing is as we know it. So I feel like let's do what we have to do to keep our sanity, because if you're losing your mind, you can't be a good parent. If I was to give you one advice here, if you're on a work call and you're struggling with what activities to keep your toddler engaged, I feel like TV always wins. I'm not advising that they sit in front of the TV for the whole day or half a day, because we don't even do that. But when something needs to be done, it needs to be done, and nobody's gonna judge you. TV is the surest way to kind of just get them zoned out.
In theory, I mean, look, some kids might be different. Whatever they absolutely love, that you usually try to kind of use as an extra reward and don't always want to give it to them. Those are the moments, especially in a time of the pandemic, where, as Adanna perfectly said, like, your sanity is the most sacred thing in this case, because otherwise, if you don't stay sane and are optimistic and positive, you will never be able to actually be a good parent. In the first instance. So even for us, there were, especially this first phase we talked about, there were moments or times when it just wasn't possible to kind of work it out better, that one of us maybe were supposed to be watching the kids and the other one was very busy, but we also had a call or something to take, and then it's just like, you know what, for this next half an hour I have this call, you guys just sit down and watch your Paw Patrol or watch your Peppa Pig, whatever it is, right? As much as we normally don't watch TV during the week, we usually limit what we watch during the weekend. But these are times when it's absolutely fine. So whatever it is for those moments, do whatever it takes.
If you have
do
to
whatever it takes. Give them ice cream. It's okay.
Because it's a work call. I wouldn't say give them ice cream.
Well, to be honest, if it's of course like 6 calls a day, obviously that's a bit different. But if it's these kind of occasional work calls you have, I would literally say whatever it takes.
You know the reason why I said I wouldn't give them ice cream? Because we've managed to convince our kids that smoothie is ice cream.
True.
Literally, we call it the smoothie ice cream. And what we have there is banana, berries, and oat milk. And the kids are having this frozen smoothie thinking it's ice cream. So we don't even really give the kids ice cream. If you can trick them with smoothie ice cream, they're gonna believe it. Like, do you remember when we were trying to get Kian to eat salmon.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't, and we called it chicken.
Chicken of the sea.
We called it chicken of the sea. All he got was chicken. And the same food in front of him, he started eating it because he thought he's now eating chicken.
Chicken of the sea. He loves chicken of the sea.
Chicken of the... So, like, kids are very gullible. I think we're the ones who feel like we need to please them with this treat. But honestly, you can confidently convince your child that broccoli is chocolate. And they believe you. Well,
yes,
I'm being extreme.
Don't push it.
I'm being extreme. I think what I mean is you can have smoothie and like tell them that it's ice cream because it's frozen. They're gonna believe that it's ice cream.
True. It's true.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks again so much for tuning in. We are so glad we're back after last week's miss, and really enjoyed today. Again, make sure to subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and obviously follow us on Instagram as well. And we wish you a great week, of course. Stay safe, please.
Yes.
Okay. And all the best, of course, with your loved ones, with your kids. You know, stay positive.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll all get through it. Times are slowly improving already. So we wish you and send you a lot of strength, okay, positivity, and success.
Yeah. I'm really happy. We really missed you guys. I really missed this session. So we're happy that we're back. If there is any topics that you would want us specifically to discuss, please leave it here or leave it in the comment section of this video, and we will definitely be addressing those.
Absolutely.
So
we will see you this weekend.
See you this weekend on Saturday.
On Saturday, you'll get our next vlog, which is, by the way, is going to be super cool. I mean, I'm actually very excited about it already. I am.
Okay.
And then, of course, next Wednesday, same time, same place, we'll see you for the next live as well. So thanks
You're jumping.
Much. I'm jumping.
Yeah. Bye, guys.
See you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.